Hello and welcome. My name is Baba Yooba, and I'm excited again to have you with me on a new episode of our African Spirituality series, where we will be talking today about data gathering and analysis in African spirituality. And I also call it the art of spiritual hacking, the art of spiritual hacking. And I want us to together actively share this with our friends and family. And my hope today is that there will be no form of hiccups during the broadcast or any kind of technical issue. Today, I will be releasing some secrets into your hands, and these secrets should be able to help you as people to deduce some things and be more careful, especially about life. Possibility there is you will hear some noise. I just want you to bear with us. We are saying hello to everyone joining us from all across the globe. If you're watching us on YouTube or you are joining us on Facebook, àbọ̀yè bọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹni tí wọ́n bá ń kí babaláwo. Let's do something together. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know. If you can hear me loud and clear, kindly let me know. I would really appreciate that. Just tell me you can hear me loud and clear. All right. Thank you. Aki alára àjẹjìrò, Aki ọ̀rọ̀gún ilé ìlá, Aki àwọn tí wọ́n jáwé ká tó jáwé, ìbà wa fáwọn tó wẹ̀gbù ká tó wẹ̀gbù, ìbà àwọn ìyá àpákẹ́ àlàkẹ́, arógbáṣọ mábàlẹ̀, ọ̀sàlà ń solo òṣòro ń sálá. Àwọn àtifúnjapá àtìfúnjèròrò, àwọn tí ń pọnmọ tí ò gbúdọ̀ jábọ́. Ẹ̀yin abiyamọ ayé àti tọ̀run ńlá bẹ̀ lónìí, kẹ́ ẹ fọ̀já yín, kẹ́ ẹ fi pọ̀n wá, káwa ó má jábọ̀. Veneration to the ancestors, those who have come ahead of us, and those who have done the things we are doing right now. We ask that your energy abide with us today, so we don't make a grievous mistake. May the mouth with which we are doing the work of deliverance not in turn bound us in trouble. We venerate the Ori, divine being of everyone present here today, watching either now or later. And we ask that together in unity, may all our energies combine in a force and do fantastic things that even our ancestors are not able to do. And when we are done in this plane of life, may our children coming behind us be able to do even more spectacular things that we are doing. Ashe, Oribe. Without wasting much of your time, we are going straight into the teaching today. And it will do a lot of good for all of us if we can jot things down. Today, we will talk about this, the art of spiritual hacking. We got a series of feedbacks from people who have been liberated by our teachings, who have become elated and woke, true witness, true awakeness happening to them through this. We thank you for giving those feedback. And we also thank those who are reaching out for consultation or divination for your patients. Please, it will get to everyone. When I was growing up as a young man, I never had interest in human beings. I must have said that a lot. I never wanted to have any relationship with humanity. Because all through my life, I have always known one thing, the volatility of human nature and the shallowness of human's knowledge. So I would rather spend time by myself, watching the ants doing fantastic things, looking at the termite, their skill in architecture, looking at the plants, trying to understand how the plants taking the poison from us and give us the poison from them. Then I was able to get to a conclusion that there is not really poison in life and there is not really antidotes in life. It depends on what works for you. Because the carbon dioxide that if I retain in me will kill me is what the plants are looking for. The oxygen that the plant can retain and kill it is what I am looking for. So there is no poison, there is no antidote. I began to understand that there is more to life than the canonized religion and how we were told to move from point A to B, because there is really no point A to B or point B to A. What there is movement. Direction is not known and it is not factual. It depends on how you see the 6. You could see it as 6, you could see it as 9. So I stopped drawing conclusions. So I said, I'm going to seek until I find out. And this has helped a lot all through my life to get to where I am right now. At a point, as a Muslim person, I started learning about space traveling early. So my sheikh would tell me there is more to life than reading Arabic. And because I was a brilliant person, we watched videos and then we would chant some names. And then he would hold me by his hands. And then I would know I physically leave the plane where I am to another place where I've never been to before. And when we go and also come back, I will ask him, what have we done? He would say, we have traveled, we journeyed. All this was happening while I was a Muslim. And I tried to ask him, what part of the Quran teaches me this? And he would say, that's the extra that only few people must know. And one day I asked him, is it possible for me as a person to infiltrate other people? And he said, yes. And one day he told me that we are going to infiltrate somebody's dream. It was a Christian woman living down the Lake Ewu. And we held that vigil. It was a night preceding the night of Maulud Nabi. One or two things we gathered together and then. And the following morning, the woman saw me and said, what were you doing in my dream? I needed to confirm that I was actually in a dream. And I went to my sheikh, told him. How were we able to infiltrate someone else's dream? Actively, we know we want to infiltrate a dream. It is not a dream that was dreamt by coincidence or by picking off a data. It was a dream that we want to make happen. So he reminded me that, the other day I asked you to go to their compound, pretend as if you want to get some fruit, and you should pick the woman's slippers and bring. I said, yes. Said, it is not the slippers, but because some of the woman's sweat has been shed on their slippers. And because of that, it becomes impossible for the woman to protect herself against external invasion. I was quick to ask him again, is this part of the Quran? And he said no. At that point, I began to think, if I can be like this outside the Quran, then I should not be inside the Quran. But I was wise enough to go back to the mosque to read the in translation of those Arabic, and then I realized that I've been reading jargons. I don't need them. Still trying to find my way, I stumbled on Christianity. And I met with someone who could manipulate life. On the outward, is reading Psalm, the usual Psalm. And he boasted that he could use the Psalm to make someone mad. I didn't want somebody to be mad. So he said, sometimes people think women drool over this shepherd for free. That there's such a charm that attracts those women to the shepherd. So they can pick anyone they want. I wasn't a pastor then. I was still below 21. But I worked with the elders. And so he added 1 plus 1 together. This was a man that naturally, the kind of woman that was drooling over him shouldn't. And when he was done with the woman, he did other things and the woman came to herself. I hate evil with all my strength. So I distanced myself, but I kept thinking about that. One of those days we spoke and he said, this is something beyond the Bible. And I started trying to figure it out. And I realized that this is African spirituality. My question was, if there's such a power, discovery, I hope you know that science is the same as knowledge. If there's such a science or knowledge to be able to manipulate things for evil, why can't we use the same science to do things for good? And when I started learning Ifa actively, I sat, even though my Oluwo could not speak about it the way I'm speaking about it, but we sat down and we started talking about the art of spiritual hacking through data gathering and analysis. So I was one of those before who think there is nothing like spirituality. I've been everything in my life except to be an atheist because I know there is a force. I do not want to worship or serve the force. I want to be the force. So the atheists do not believe in the force. They don't believe in the existence of God. But I believe that I am the God that I'm looking for. The Christians and the Muslims believe there is a God in the sky. I've traveled a lot of time in my life, and I've tried to record the sky, beyond the sky, all the skies, there is no God there. So I knew I am my own God. And if I have to be the God, then I have to be in unity with the force, which is the universe. All questions should be pegged till when we finish. And so I was taken through the school of herbalism while trying to research data gathering and analysis. And I realized that one of the easiest way to get the data and to analyze them is how everything reacts to water. I say again, one of the easiest way to gather data and also analyze them is how every single element of the nature reacts to water in relation to water. And so it came to my hearing or my understanding that water is life. Uh, what does that mean? If water is life, it means that whatever water touches receive life. It now depends on how you can manipulate the water to bring about the data in those things. Everything is domiciled except or until they make contact with water. So if you want to mess the world up, go and study fluid. Fluid. It may be irrelevant to you, but that is what controls the whole world. For example, a guava leaf. When you put a guava leaf in the water, what the guava leaf will give to you in a lukewarm water, in a very boiling point water, in a cold water differs, and they do different things for you per time. So it is important for you to know how water reacts to you and how water reacts in you. For those who understand this way of life, every single thing from your body carries data. If they come in contact with it and exchange it with fluid, they can mess you up. 71% of the landmass or the world, the entire, let's say, Earth planet is water. So also in application to every human body. And it will marvel you, it may not marvel you. Let me remind you that you are a product of water. When you put a woman's egg out of her body and put it on a plain surface, leave it there for 5 minutes or so, it will turn to water. What you call fluid, sperm, is also water. So how does bone grow from water? How does hair go from water? How do you get skin from water? Your heart that beat, how did water form it? How are you able to get brain to think from water? And you realize that when you die today, before you turn to soil, you will first turn to water. You think you don't have much water in your body until you stop breathing. Then you realize that you are made of water, perfectly water, all water. And so we realize that data gathering in African spirituality, as it pertains to water, is the mode or the portal through which you can be spiritually hacked as a person. They say water don't have enemy, but water can be your enemy. How do I call a person who lives very far away from me and have them obey me or do my bidding? How do I infiltrate a person's dream and control their mind? How do I even make a copy of another person? Because there are some of you here, you've been seeing your mother in the dream, chasing you up and down. It's not your mother. The art of spirituality in African part can help someone make what we call a photocopy technology, where exactly the image of the person you love is used to perpetrate evil against you while you try to dissociate yourself from the person who loves you. So if there's going to be a creation of enmity between you and those who have been serving as your spiritual wall, guide, or firewall, all a person needs to do is to take on their image to do something evil against you so that you can create hatred for them. And so, therefore, you isolate yourself from the very essence of your protection. A lot of you have picked your mother as your enemy, picked your father as your enemy, pick your foster parent as your enemy today just because somebody is trying to manipulate you. Somebody call it hologram. Thank you. There are several technological words for them now. But all those things are real in African spirituality. So before you make conclusion that somebody is chasing you, let us make confirmation that it is not somebody using their image against you. I'm not trying to teach you a new theology. I'm not trying to scare you or either. I'm giving you release. I'm releasing information of freedom into your hands so that you too can be wise. How can I speak life into a person who is very far away from me, and they will get that pronunciation or profession of life, and they will now say, I saw you making this confession on me. Now you have to call on water if you are to connect with a person. There's going to be a master class, a mastery class rather, on water later when we finish our African spirituality master class. So you could speak to a person far away simply because they have access to water or they drink water. Now, water not only carry the memory of the present, it also hide or store in it the memory of the past. Why? Because it was the water that your ancestor drank that you also are drinking. You will not understand what I just said. It was the water that your ancestor drank that you also, there is no addition of water or removal of water. Everything we have been eating is what we are still eating. Everything we have been drinking is what we are still drinking. There is nothing new under the sun. You need to get that. It was the same water that Ogunlakayi Oshimole, Lominlefegeweo, Lashonlefimokimobura drank that you also are drinking in this present dispensation. And the memory it has, how it was manipulated in those times, water never forgets. So somebody say, how come? It is so because when you drink water, you urinate. It goes to the soil. When you die, you are planted. All the water in your body also goes to the soil. And when you want to drink water, you go to the soil and dig up water. The same water they have been drinking is the same water we are drinking, and the same water that those who are coming after us will drink. Water carries all of the memory of the beginning, and it will carry it to the end. As a matter of fact, there is no ending. So I could practically link your ancestry without knowing you just because I have water. And when I make pronouncement and say, so, the son of so, if you drink water today, may this and this happen. And the water, irrespective of where you get it, I don't know if you know me or not, pick that particular memory and begin to work either against you or for you. Either against you or for you. So water store the memory of the past, the present, and relate it to the future. And those who can hijack the memory, they can equally hack it and use it to hurt you spiritually. Remember when we started, I said, how did the water cause sperm and that soluble called ovary or egg in a woman grew to become a bone, a flesh, having brain, skull, hair, growing, all of this. And it is because of that we realize that every data needed to process who you are is embedded in water. And the product of that water is as good as the water itself. So we could get that data using these means. As a matter of fact, let me not go that way. Let me say there is none part of you, there is no part of your body that does not have its own data. And the data is solely connected, strongly connected to your energy, which is who you really are. Remember, we started from saying water is life. And water is life simply means that water, you are a product of our water. And if you think you are alive, you are water being alive. You have always heard that water is life. Let us shock each other today and say that water is death. If water is life, then water is death. Say, why do you go to the hospital? The only thing that takes you to the hospital is simply because the water in your body is malfunctioning against you. That's why most of the time when you get to the hospital, the first thing they give to you is drips, water. Let us reconfigure the water in this person's body so that it will calm down. Tell me a virus, a bacteria, a germ, a terminal ailment that has nothing to do with water. So if water is life, water can also be death. So if I puke water into your mother's body to bring life out of her, I can speak to the water in your body to infuse death into you. Just listen to me, follow me. All of this water became human. So if I could lay hold on your nails, I could manipulate your life, gathering data. If it is a strand of air from your body, manipulation can start. Data gathering. If it is your underwear, not because it's something you wear or you bought in your name, It is because there is no way you will wear an underwear and a part of you, DNA or whatever, will not be left in that underwear. It doesn't matter how many times you wash it. Either semen coming from several ejaculations during the day, or the fluid from your vagina dropping into it. Not only your underwear, even the clothing you wear on a normal day. As long as you can sweat into it, it is useful. If it is your saliva, is enough. Yesterday, I went for COVID test, and they just put a inside my nose and my mouth, and that's all. And they could get what they want, a fluid from your body. If the fluid from your body can give us the state of your health, that same fluid from your body can be used to manipulate your health. This is why we say be careful of who you share these waters with. If you can stay on your own, and if somebody lays on your nails, your strand of hair, your underwear, or whatever, and manipulate it, how much more those you share these waters with? How come you can contract ailment only through exchange of fluid? Say someone have COVID now. By the exchange of water from your body to their body, you get the same ailment they have. They photocopy their state of health in you, and naturally you begin to react and behave the way they behave. So in African spirituality, you may believe, you may disbelieve, you may even say, I want to use myself as a specimen. Every part of your body is useful and it can be used to mess you up. That's why I say, be careful of your pastors when they say you come for feet washing. Ìwọ ló máa rìn gbèrègbèrè lọ lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn ni wọ́n mọ̀ lówó. I say be careful of those people who say they want to lay hands on you. I always reiterate that it is very, very important for you to be careful of those you share the fluid in your body with. Now, most of you are only concerned about not contracting disease or getting pregnant. But what about sharing data and also uploading or downloading data? There is such a thing as called memory cleansing. Memory cleansing was researched and established in African spirituality because we know that in several ways and means, we have acquired more memory in ourselves than we need, especially alien memory that should not be within us. So sometimes we behave erratically, sometimes we behave, and sometimes we wonder, why did I act the way I act? You must have met someone who acted that way, and their water in you is reacting. So Yoruba will say, "Oh millennium, oh millennium." Humans are water. It goes beyond us networking. It comes to the point of us also procreating after our own kind. You cannot differentiate water from water. So I was telling something on my article last night that I, for one, I never saw my grandfather, and I met my father briefly. But my father was an exact replica of his father, and I'm an exact replica of my father. Water, keep flowing, no differences, no barricade. And as long as we are all water, we make the same formation, and sometimes we have the same perspective towards life without meeting each other. So they'll say this child looked like his grandfather. He never met his grandfather. Even you do not know your grandfather. But a child emanated and look exactly like someone whom they have never met. Water. Water. So this water can be manipulated. So we say, be careful. Who touches your hair? Your head. Be careful whom you allow to even visit you. Some of you are in the habit of hugging, touching, embracing every human you meet. You are endangering yourself. So data gathering. A certain woman who runs a local cafeteria would insist that whoever comes to a cafeteria to eat must not use spoon or cutlery. If you are buying rice, you must eat with your hand. If you are buying whatever it is, mussel, you must eat with your hand. And you will be forced to wash, right? And in the zinc where people wash off, she had actually passed a pipe, a plumbing work, to a place where she reserved all the water that they use to wash their hand. So you say white people are not wicked. Can we say white people are not knowledgeable? Because power in the hand of human being is a delicate child. They can kill it, they can make it alive. You say, okay, white people don't go through this white people because white people are oblivious and ignorant of what the world really means. If they also understand this way of life, they will also use it on you, especially you black people in their land. Say white people are so pure-hearted. They are not pure-hearted, they are ignorant, they are ignoramus. They don't understand nature. They don't know how to manipulate things. So how can you even manipulate what you don't know? So the woman will collect those water they use in washing their hand. Very small, tattered and battered local cafeteria, but she has built several houses. How? Ìwọ ló lè máa jẹun, àmàlà yàráfà ni mo like. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ò lè so oúnjẹ kó dùn mọ́. Àmàlà yàráfà ṣáá ni. Àárọ̀ àsán alẹ́ ò fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá ò tiẹ̀ wà nutrition. Àmàlà yàráfà ṣáá ni ó dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ò rówó ná. Manipulation of water. In this way of life, there's such a thing as called amplifier. Amplifier. Everyone has something to offer, but some people want to amplify their own. And there is no addition in the universe. Somebody said they can read weather. Who cannot read weather? Is weather reading an achievement for the white people? Before they could read weather, we have been reading weather. As a matter of fact, we can create weather. Can they do that? So if weather reading is what makes white people know something, Our fathers have been reading weather before they come. Do you know we are the first to develop the four season system? Watching the river now, how it grows, how it affects our plant and all. We started the 4 season system. We have created the 12 calendar year before they started. We just don't call it January, February, April, May. We call it Sherry, Herena, Igbe, Biokudu, Agemo, Ogun, Owewe, Obara, Beru, Ope. How do we know that the month of December is the month of Thanksgiving? How do we know the month of the rain, which is July? Let's even say they know weather. Can they create weather? If we say rain should fall, night to fall, agbára ọ̀rọ̀ ni. If rain were to fall and we say we don't want rain to fall, it will not fall. Please. Okay, Major. So, boosting, I was at Amplifier. Now, it is the survival of the fittest. And I would say that if you are asked to eat the whole head of an elephant so that you can stay alive, and you say, oh, that is animal brutality, somebody is willing to add lion's head, human head to their own just to survive. If we say do this and that so that you can stay, be healthy, live a life without sorrow, and you say no, I don't, if it is their own choice, they will throw you under the bus so that they can stay alive. Sometimes you have to take decision about your life. The Yarafa wants to have money, so she doesn't care if it is you that goes for it. So you'll be working endlessly like an elephant. And instead of people to favor you or even appreciate your work, the Yarafa that is not doing much more than you, that's who people focus and say, Yarafa Isha. However, there is no addition or subtraction in this plane of life, but there is a stealing and robbery. So somebody can say, I would like to manipulate this person's star to work for mine. That is amplification. And how many to feni, so you have to be careful. You know who you love, you don't know who loves you. A person could show you the greatest form of love just because they need a fluid from your body. So I say, young man, even if you want to do nonsense, take your condom home and dispose it yourself. And if you have to dispose it there, make sure it has gone into Sokari. Young women, please train your sons. But how do we even begin to tell you that? Is it enough? What about just your sweat, your saliva, all those things? All some people need is just the handkerchief to just take your sweat, and that's all. Data gathering. So this is the art of spiritual hacking, to manipulate another person, either to do your bidding or to totally render them useless for your own sake. Total useless rendering. In another light, it is also possible that there is no manipulation anywhere, but you are taking on data of a confused, unsettled person into yourself without knowing. And so how the water reacts in their body begin to also replicate itself in you. Aṣọ brother mi ni kò má tà jẹ́ kí n wọ̀ ọ́ mọ́rú ogun tó ń ja brother ẹ̀. Some of you even wear each other's pants. You go to someone's house, you pick their clothes, you wear it, just like that. You go to hotels, you pick other people's towel, you use it, just like that. Should we also talk about the putting on of artificial air? I said there are synthetic, but women will rather buy original human hair. So the more their sweat exchange with that, remember we said all these things are fluid. All of these things are fluid. And don't forget that you are so volatile and so vulnerable that every single part of your body have pores, pore opening. You think your skin is so smooth and fresh and all. There are holes in your body. Things can get access into you. So you sweat on those air, sweat on those things and all. And therefore taking data that you don't need. It wasn't a practice in Africa before for us to use second-hand clothing because we have more than enough. Even if it is 5 clothing you have, you wear it in a dignifying manner. But our people would rather invest money on a clothing that someone abroad has used. You really don't know the disease or the problem wrong with that person. It almost seems as if everything that have been used and disposed should come to Africa. We need to stop that. Several times I've spoken about how it is easy to call up a person's divine self just by knowing their first name and their mother's name. However, it becomes more effective when the water from your body is available. As simple as your nail, hair, strand of hair, it's okay. Why? Because everything is a product of water. And water is the most intelligent element in our world that could hear effectively and do exactly what instruction you have coded inside of it. A lot of us, we work tirelessly. We are fulfilling all righteousness. We play by the book. We do everything expected of us. We shouldn't have problem with backwardness, stagnation, or being static. But no matter how much you try, you just have to be in one spot. Data gathering could also extend to the waste products coming out of our body. Nothing wasteful comes out of your body. Everything that comes out of your body is useful. Either in form of fluid for sex, from sex, or urine, or even your feces or what they call it. There's life in all those things you call waste, and they can be used against you. Are there no tests you use the feces for? The doctors will tell you that the color of your urine is an indication of the state of your health. Do they tell you that? So let us leave the extraordinary aspects of your sperm or your vaginal fluid. Let's talk about your urine alone. Let's talk about your urine alone. So if your urine is useful for test, it is also useful because it carries life. See, the world we live in is so delicate that only those who are knowledgeable rules the affairs of men. Drug tests are conducted on urine. Yeah. If urine can tell people what is wrong with you. Now, you know what happened when drug tests, when you are doing tests on a thing and it's giving you feedback, it is communicating. Those things have voice. They could speak. And they can only speak because they carry memories in them. You get the logic now? If the swabbing of your saliva could give some certain kind of result, it is giving the result because it can speak. It can speak because it carries memory in it. And if a memory is tampered with, there is a mental insanity. So the laboratory test was not started by the white man, the ancestors who know this way of life. Data gathering. Starting and ending with what is in you against what you are. Now, what is the essence of this particular teaching? The essence of it is only to sound a warning to you in capital letter, be careful. And don't even listen to those who tell you that there is no spirituality somewhere. Ẹni ìjà òde bá ní pera ẹ̀ lọ́kùnrin o. Until you face challenges of life, you will not know that there are there is two sides of the coin. People will have mouth, condemn, blackmail, mess up everything they have no clue about until it happens to them. So you only know who you are watching. You don't know who is watching you. That's the reason why I'm telling you all this. I'm not telling you because I want you to be scared. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that you are not as protected as you think you are. You can only be sure of who you trust. You don't know who doesn't trust you. You don't know who is watching you. And it's good for you not to move with people who are telling you that, why are you suspecting me? Suspect everything and everyone. If they are not comfortable with it, then they are up to something. We have, because of westernization and modernism, messed up a lot of things. We have been too free, unconscious, that our life is a perfect definition of hula baloo. Hula baloo. If the water you drink that is contaminated is capable of messing you up health-wise, how much more the word spoken to the water in your body? So it is very, very important that you are as gentle as dove, but as wise as serpent. Am I saying watch your back all the time? Yes. But am I saying there are no ways to counteract or counter effect most of these things? No, 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 no. There are ways. This is the reason why the ancestors made it a point of duty for us to constantly recharge our divine being against impending danger and external invasion. So the Oribibo, the appeasing of your Ori, which we beg people to do constantly now so that they can allow us to rest. You see what happens? When we say, please do your Oribibo always, you know what we are doing? For me as a Babalawo, I'm trying to create a reality in you such that you don't burden me and you don't get burdened. When you do constant Oribibo, you activate the defense around your divine being, your energy. And because of that, you are forestalling future occurrences or possible external invasions. The Jews don't play with that. And they don't do it in a secret. They do it openly. Do they not believe in Yahweh? They do, but they don't play with their divine reality. Ibori, appeasing your own divine being. So it's like a doctor, having healed you, tells you, please take this supplement all the time. Now, he also tells you, drink enough water. Now, he's not telling you to do that because he wants you to waste money. He's telling you to do that because you can be one less thing to worry about. One less head to worry about. It is not the joy of a doctor that you are always bringing complicated issues to him. He also wants to rest. And maybe he wants you to be in good health. But people approach African spirituality or even approach Ifa only because they have been contaminated or there's problem. So they constantly worry. So there have been people we tell, do it once in a month. And they will say, come, once in a month is too small. Let me do it every 2 weeks. And so far so good, they can see the result of it. They will text and say, Baba, thank you for your advice. Thank you for your advice. People who could not do space of 3 months without encountering some kind of major challenge now run the race of 6 months, 1 year, no issue. Solution upon solution, promotion upon promotion, just because they are in tune with their energy. The dividends of the Oribibo expanded beyond you just carrying out some rite. You stay activated and sensitive to the voice of the universe per time. So you don't mingle with who you shouldn't. You don't eat from where you shouldn't. You don't drink from where you shouldn't. And even if you by any chance taking those things as poisons, when you do your Oribibo, it cleanses you. It's like buying a mobile phone, charging it once and saying it's okay. Everything is okay now. You will not be able to access the phone, not because you don't have airtime to call, not because you can't browse, not because the phone cannot work, but because you have refused to charge it. So most of you have all the dividends of spirituality in you, but it's not activated just because you are not switching on the light. The green button is not there. And somebody say it is idolatry to have a shrine. Okay, okay. A shrine, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a place where you go to worship a thing or you bow to a thing. A shrine is a place where you go to energize yourself. But how do you know how to make a shrine for yourself? How do you know the ingredients you have to bring together to get these things done for yourself? Now, do not also forget about the fact that you are different from me and I am different from you. What works for me might not work for you. What I can eat, you might not be able to eat it. And when you eat what you shouldn't eat, you poison the water in your body. It is too far for you to say somebody is trying to poison you or you are trying to poison yourself through others. Sometimes what you use your money to buy is a poison to your own body. We practically spend money on the poison against us. Oh, it is okay for you to know your friends can drink, but you cannot drink. Not because it is a sin, but because it reacts negatively to the water in your body. But because of what will people say, some of you taking poison. And we are not talking about drinking to stupor or losing your sense. You are just dragging in life. What works for you? That you must find out through divination. So you don't poison yourself. It is easy for me to tell you, this when you do this to do that, okay, don't wear this, don't wear that, don't wear that. What about the things that you spend money? It's like arming yourself with your own money. So you could be in a car and they are playing a music and you don't think you are listening until in the night you are alone and the lyrics of the music is playing itself word by word to you and you are wondering, but you don't know this song. You don't need to know. Nearness and availability can also poison the water in your body. The art of spiritual hacking not only happen through other people to you, but even through yourself to yourself. So most of the time, when we say I have been hacked spiritually, the first thing that comes to your mind is somebody in your father's village. First thing that comes to mind is somebody you offended yesterday. And they might not be. It may be even you. Some of us practically also for our downfall. Location can even go against the water in your body. That's why it is advisable for you to get the kind of secure a job that fits your personality. Stay in an environment that fits or suits your personality. Live in a country that suits your personality. Some of us practically also to die. Like I said, Some people don't deserve to live a village life, not because they are not exposed, but because it is against their personality or worry. So they die on time. But if they are in the village, better. A lot of people go through a lot in life simply because of the religious sect that they associated themselves with. The religious sect they associated themselves with. Because the style or the doctrine in that particular sect does not in any way align with their ori. Some of you know that African spirituality is the way for you. It fits your personality, but you are scared of what people will say. So you are there doing shinkarama machine debo, lekoro mantanta, ori asanden, on the foundation of lies. A lot of us have issues with the kind of people we are mingling with in terms of relationship. And the water in their body is configured to work against the water in our own body. But we have said, yes, I do to them. And we expect to get that forever happy ever after. But you know you are sad for eternity. But what will people say is keeping you older. You just know you don't click with this person. There is a lot of resentment. Either they offend you or not, you just resent them. Some relationships shouldn't have been. It is an art of spiritual sabotage, hacking yourself by yourself. So a lot of people, when I started this, they will be hoping that I'm going to talk about the mother in the village or the witches in their compound or something. But I'm saying most of these things, we can settle it out of them even by taking care of our own self first. People living life knowing not their element or what group or order or kind of spirituality they should practice. Self-sabotage, the art of spiritual hacking. So is it an active data gathering analysis or not? No, it is a lifestyle, a way of life that we have chosen. It is a day-to-day activity in African spirituality that generates the data. It is left to those who are understanding, who are work really to analyze the data and use it either for good or for evil. There are people here who have no business giving birth to their own children. There are people who have no business with marriage. The fact that people come to this world, marry, give birth does not mean marriage and giving birth is for everybody. If you ask some people, you realize that it was until the point of marriage that their life got messed up. They want to do what other people do and see what they are saying. So I'm saying, how volatile, let me not say volatile, how vulnerable have you rendered yourself as people? Do you do what others do, or you do what you should do? Do you eat what they eat, or you eat what you should eat? Okay, alkaline food or vegetarian is what is reigning right now. You went to join them. Look at you. You are looking older than your own grandmother. Looking so lifeless, looking. The greatest undoing of mankind is what they call trend. or vogue? Trend or vogue? And the most unfortunate is that trend and vogue is temporary. They never last long. But you know what? They leave everlasting effect in the life of those who live by them. Everybody is scraping their hair. You went to scrape your hair. What if you are not supposed to touch the hair on your head? Everybody is covering their head. You went to cover your head. What if you are not supposed to cover the hair on your head? It's nakedness and nudity that is reigning right now. And let me address that for a moment. It was not because our ancestors were so clothed like that. There are dispensations in Africa where women don't even to wear anything. As a matter of fact, you have to reach a certain age before you begin to strap on something on your pubic area. And there was nothing like raping. There was no raping. Up until now, when you still go to Zulu Kingdom, there is a festival they do. The virgin women there need to bare their chest. But then you have to come to understanding that there are dispensations where you have to put on clothes. So when you want to take us back to the past by force, you create a culture shock. Some people did not grow up seeing naked women around. So when they see you, they should control themselves. You want control life with you. So in the dispensation of nakedness, everybody want to jawere sita at all costs. Everybody just want to be mad intentionally. Vogue, you know, like trend. Crazy jeans, low one dancing yo. Stonewash, low one dancing yo. Boyfriend jeans, low one dancing yo. Everything you just follow. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? Some of you are priestesses. Some of you are priestesses. You shouldn't open your flesh that much and be going around. You work against your own divine being. You hack your own spiritual life. You render it useless. You make it vulnerable for people to enter. Some of you women, priestesses. Priestesses. Oh, look at life. Look at you. I think there's someone they call bumper shot before. Bumper shot, she be at a book in the book. Not even. Biker shot in those times, growing up, we used to see our mothers. The things you now wear out outside now without shame, our mothers, after they wear it, after they wear pants, they will wear it. They will wear shimmy or skirt. They will now put Iru and Buba on it. So when we see our women, it is respect we offer them first. But look at you today. Men are scum. All they want from you is sex. But look at yourself. The way you dress, the way you present yourself is sexting. What you don't know is that men are very smart. The first day they see you, they know what they want to do with you. If a man is going to marry you, he knows the first day he sees you. If he's going to just have sex with you and waste your time, he knows. If he just want to dupe you, he knows. If he just want to eat your food, he knows. The first day he sees you, he knows. Men are wired that way. They know what they want. Women can take their time. Men will know. But most of the time, you are wife material. You are honorable. You are okay. But look at the presentation you brought. Bobako switch yes sórí àwọn gbàkójẹ́ ni bá ti lù ẹ́ tinú tẹ̀yìn tán tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti wà ń bẹ̀. And you know, women get so attached to a man that makes them come. Women can lose their brain the moment you get them to the quaking department. When you can give them the earthquake effect, it is possible for them to lose their sense. They wouldn't say it can't say it won't give you what you want. But look at your life. You are supposed to be treated royally. You are a priestess. You should be adored. You should be respected. You should practically be worshipped. It should be licking the feet of you. But you have asked your spiritual department by the way you present yourself. Oti Sarah Esigba, o Sarah Esigba, be a porn star. As if everybody should mind their business. I dress the way I like. Why they attract àwọn tí wọ́n like irú mi? So somebody came to me for divination. Baba, I want to embrace African spirituality. And while I was doing back and forth, I said, hey, you are chosen. You are chosen. I said, I would advise you go and enjoy your life first for now. Go and enjoy your life. Enjoy the height of secularism, because the moment you get inducted, you can't afford to do what you are doing. You are chosen. And if you want to embrace this and still embrace that, I said something will work against something. It can't pay you. And the person walked away for some time. Later, she now came back and said, I'm ready. I appreciated that honesty. I appreciated it. You are a man here. By calculation and your spiritual standing, you shouldn't have business with more than one woman all through your life. But you are so carried away with your youthful exuberance that you think how many women you have had sex with is the worth of your manhood. Everybody that brings their tank to your fuel station, you put your nozzle in it, your jackpos, some jackpos, tank, you now expect Ifa to now refill the tank that you have empty through your sexual intercourse. The one you should sleep with, you have slept with. The one you shouldn't, you have slept with. Everybody have come across, you have When we now say, okay, how many women have seen your nakedness? You cannot stop at number 65. A lot of men are going through a lot of turmoil today because you can't want to eat mama without making promises of flesh. And those promises you refuse, when they call your word to attention, when you are making the promises, you are releasing water from your body. You can't speak or say a word without fluid. Water follows your word. So they will just call your word against you, except you do not promise me this and that. Should you go scot-free? So some people are practically useless in life today because they want to eat mama. Efe di konga, Mr. Jase konga, O konga, di konga, Shimama konga. Spiritual hacking. Water. You see, there's nothing we have said today that is not bordering around water. So we make some divination for some people and say, this is a problem of the mothers of the night. You have to disturb the honors of the beast. Look at it. You have taken your sperm to the laboratory. They say you have good sperm count, but you just cannot make a baby. You have forgotten the day you carelessly you empty your body and somebody used handkerchief to pack something and then took off. Ìyẹn tiẹ̀ wá tẹ̀yìn tẹ̀ máa ń gbé aláṣẹ́wó lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ títì tó bá ti bà yín lẹ̀. I learned that there are dating apps now where you can just control a woman for sex over the night. No emotion, just come, pay you your money and get out. Do you not value your own life anymore? Do you not now put any kind of value, even if it is $1 that you put on yourself? Don't lose $1 now. How do you even say that thing is called make love? How do you make love to someone you have no? You guys don't. Oh, what's going on in the world today? So tomorrow the lady is greeting you and you say, I don't know you. Truly, you can't remember her because a lot of water have run under the bridge. A lot of water has passed under the bridge. A lot of water has passed under the bridge. You body shame women, but look at you. Almost 65 women, they have seen your nakedness. Do you not put value on that thing anymore? Is it because I'm a man? I know they shame. What's your problem? The art of spirituality. Now we take it back home. Because it is not stopping at you alone. You have slept with Janet, Ramota, and all that. The same water, you have gathered water from them. An innocent woman that is keeping her body just for you. An innocent woman that is watching your home, cleaning your house and all that. You still carry the same body and you go say you want to make love, that this is my own wife. I make love to my wife. I just have sex with other women. It's water. Water doesn't know make love and have sex. You now brought the data. Janet, Jan, Judy, Juliet, Rama, Rafa, Ramata. All the names in R, we have to list all of them. We now move to you. You have had sex in alphabetical order. Mr. English teacher, you have had sex in alphabetical order. Under A, you have had all of them. Under B, Beatrice, Bintu, Billy, BJ. You are alphabetical order. All of those memories and all of those water, you have brought it in. The one that is trouble, the one that is calm, the one that is good, the one that is not useful, you now dump it in your own wife. And your wife, without knowing those women, begin to carry their own, and then you say she's misbehaving. Why won't she misbehave? You have turned yourself to connector of evil. You connect from evil, to evil to good. You pollute everything. I'm not saying this because I'm holy. I'm saying it because we are killing each other gradually. And only those who know the art of purity or spirituality knows that the fact that it is free does not mean it is good. The fact that it is free does not mean it is good. My head is always attracting women. It's an unfortunate head that attracts women. Say men are always rushing me. Anywhere I go to, men will just be rushing me. It's the water inside of you they want to pollute. It is your water they want to pollute. So you turn yourself to a well of living water. Everybody can bring their doro and begin to fetch. Wọ́n ti fetch ẹ mọ́ abẹ́ igi, wọ́n ti fetch ẹ mọ́ abẹ́ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀, wọ́n ti fetch ẹ mọ́ abẹ́ ìrókò, wọ́n ti fetch ẹ mọ́ abẹ́ kìíní. Kò síbi tán tí ti fetch omi ẹ̀. They have draw your water everywhere drawable. So we say again today, the art of spiritual hacking. Is it left to people alone to hack us, or we are also making ourselves vulnerable, tendering our own password to the hand of others, knowingly or unknowingly? The materials you put on, all of those things. When we have hold of them, it can be used to manipulate you. In a scientific world where your photo can be used to manipulate, not to mention things that comes out of your body. So you don't need Jesus to teach you holiness. You don't need Allah to teach you how to refrain from African spirituality has handed all of these secrets into our hands and giving us the consequences of them, so that whenever we want to act, it is the consequences that give us self-control. I don't need Jesus in my life. And there is no way in hell that I'm going to heaven. Even if you say it doesn't matter what you do, come to heaven, I will never make heaven. I will never make heaven. There is no way in hell I'm going to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven. The heaven of the Christian, so boring. They say we're going to be singing, 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 singing. One person will now sit on the throne. I'll be singing for eternity. Are you going to pay me for singing to you? It's going to be boring. The heaven of the Muslim, they said there will be women there. I'm refraining myself from getting more memory that I don't need on earth. You are saying you offer me women there, women and paraga, women and alcohol in the Muslim heaven. So what if I don't like sexual intercourse normally in life? I will now be punished for not disvirgining those 72 virgins. And you know what? They say I'm going to disvirgin them every morning. So if I disvirgin them this morning, I will be giving some wine. Tomorrow morning, the hymen would have blocked back. I will have to disvirgin them. I say, who kill me now? Tell me no more like obìnrin tó yẹn. Wọ́n máa jẹ̀dí, wọ́n máa ràdí, wọ́n máa gbádìí láwọn ọmọ kàndí. Kí ló dé? The art of spirituality. That's on the nightly note. But that's what they taught. That's what they taught us. That's what they are teaching. It is time for you to ask your questions. Begin to put your question down. We have 10 to 15 minutes to answer questions, and we are off here. All those things you must be careful. Àǹtí mi ẹjẹ́ sáré bá yín fọ pátá yín ò sí ńbẹ̀. In this world that we are, I have seen mother-in-law come to me and say, this is my daughter-in-law's pant. Can we use it to change our glory to my son? I'm not kidding you. When we check the Akosejaya of the son, we realize that Ofoni Ojo Keji Oja. They say, yeah, okay. So why don't you tell your son to succumb to the wife, so that the wife can use whatever she carries to help the two of you, the two of them, instead of changing one to another? I said it will be useless and you will regret it. She said it doesn't mind. I said, what's that? She said the door. I said, you use it to enter. I said, yes. So yeah, use it to go. So if somebody that close in marital relationship can want to change one to one, some of you are practically having sex with a man who is training you, who is taking you for something else. Some of you are practically jumping on a woman who is just getting your fluid for something else. Aragbelaye o. Aragbelaye o. Ayuade Oseni is saying that, can anybody harness the power of water, or you have to be initiated? Anybody can harness the power of water so far they have the knowledge. If you have the knowledge, you can do it. If you have the knowledge, you can do it. Water is not that secretive. So once you know the knowledge of how to manipulate it, remember I told you water, power is a zombie. It is not bad, it is not good. It depends on where you apply it to. Aboriboye. Is there any negative effect when you drink with your left hand? We used to hear this myth a lot. There's no negative effect. What about those who are leftists? No negative effect. No negative effect. No negative effect. Baba, please, how can one delete all these accumulated negative data? That's where the what's it called? Memory cleansing comes in place. Memory cleansing. If you had access with more than one person or two, you should clean your memory. If you have not before, you should clean your memory. Ó yẹ kó ti wà clogged up báyìí. Ó yẹ kó ti wà clogged up báyìí. Because this is what results to sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are moody. Sometimes you just feel like you don't want to live at all. Begin to hear other people's voice in your head. You are in a relationship or marriage with one person and you guys don't want to set eyes on each other. That's because more than two of you are in that relationship. Their energy comes up, get activated, get surge up sometimes. You guys just, because if it is two, yeah, cooperation. If it is more than two, it's a crowd. Yeah. Somebody say not making love again. Má jẹ́ kí kan jí pa ẹ́ o. Mi ní kó má make love o. Make love with the right person or the right people. Kò dá kíkú kan jí pààyàn. Kò dá kíkú kan jí pààyàn. Baba Yooba, will one still accumulate negative data even when one uses condom? Yes. While you are going back and forth, are you not kissing each other? Are you not exchanging sweat and all? And the people that make condom, did they not say it is just 99.9% safe? What about the other one, that 0.1? Eh? Those things have holes too. It's like skin. Your skin have holes. They have holes too. So that's why you could still use condom and still be infected. You could use condom and still impregnate people. And sometimes when fluid want to mess up, they know their way. Water does not flow only in one direction. Water can flow up and down. Especially very very drawing water as you make during intercourse. What's your take on giving your old clothes to friends or relatives? There are things to be done in that regard. There's such a thing called neutralizer. You can neutralize most of these things simply by soaking them in salt water. In salt water, you soak them in salt water, and then there are words that should be spoken to those things. Then there's an end to the looping. There's an end to that particular data. You can kill data. You can corrupt data and kill it. Before you give out your clothing and all that, soak it in salt water, especially sea salt water, for up to 3 days or so, and you speak some word into it as it comes to your mind to neutralize it, so that your data don't get transferred. What do I do with an husband who I don't trust, that I've left but tried to help? Now he won't leave. We are not even intimate. What should you do? He wants you back now. If you don't want the guy, just if your help is what is making him stick, then stop the help and let him go. Stop the help and let him go. Somebody is saying if one is having difficulty conceiving, you have to see the herbalist. Have you done the test? Is everything all right? And we have to use herbalism. Or if you don't want to go through that test, go and do IVF. Can one make a decree on water? Yes, you can. That's the essence of what we're saying. Is there repercussion on people who act other people, or can they get away with it by doing ritual to counteract? There are repercussions. What you don't want, you don't bring alive in African spirituality. There are great repercussions. Remember the story of the evil you do stays with you. The good you do comes back to you. There are repercussions. Morality and holiness, so to say, is enacted in African spirituality through the understanding of consequences. Àṣegbé kan ò sí láyé, àṣepamọ́ ló wà. àṣegbé òsì láyé, àṣepamọ́ ló wà. Any other question? Somebody say, how do you do Ibori? I've done a teaching on that, which is the elementary. However, if it is complex, then you reach out to your Babalawo. The one I taught you is the things you can do maybe once in a week or so. The real main Ibori, when you want to really go complex, your Babalawo have to be involved. You have to make divination on what kind of thing that will be required to do your Oribibo for that month. So while you do some part, wherever you are, your Babalawo also do the other part, wherever he is. If you trust him enough to be able to carry out those things. Don't give your money to Babalawo that will spend it and say he has done it. You should feel the effect of it, even then. In essence, do we have to perform this memory cleansing with our partners if we have picked up this high body count? Yeah, so you have to. It's like when you go to the hospital for test and you are infected. While they are treating you, they tell you to also treat your partner. Say that they tell you to stay away from them if they are not infected, or if they are infected, you both have to treat yourself. Else, when you go back, you pick it up. So if only you do memory cleansing and your partner didn't do, you see the memory you have dumped in them, you go back and pick it. So you do it with them. If before, I thought I answered the question, so if before I cleansed my memory, I slept with my partner and I transferred this accumulated bad data to her. If after cleansing, I go back, will I pick back the same? Yes, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. Aboruboye, do the things you need for your Ori change frequently? Yes, it does. It does. Because we pick up different memory per time. We pronounce different things on ourselves per time. We go to different atmosphere, different places per time. And those that hate us last month might be different from those who hate us this month. And people don't use one single way to attack us. You get the point? So if they are updating, if the universe is also updating, we also need to get updated. So it changes. Don't just assume that, okay, this is it. The other time I went to my Babalawo, this is what they use. And so therefore you keep using the same thing and say, this people is not working now and all that. Some of you want to be smarter than those who know this secret. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to really take charge, go and learn Ifa so that you too will also be able to know. But please explain remote viewing with water in African spirituality. Is it real or Nollywood gimmick? Remote viewing. You know that one that they look into the water and they begin to see some cinema clips. Is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, remote viewing. Nollywood needed to make you. Nollywood is trying to bring spirituality into physicality, and so they overdo it. I would rather they not go to that extent of communalizing it than they go there. It is possible you could view or see things when you look into water enough. It depends on your level of spiritual training and maturity. It is very possible. There are people who do divination using water alone, especially those who identify with water and who have subjected themselves to training, some kind of training, to know how to manipulate water, to know how to speak to water, to know how to talk to water. Some may start from the level of when they look into water, they begin to hear audible voice where water is speaking to them. And some have grown to the level where they look into the water and they can see clearly what they want to see, like you see the vision of the day. You get the point? It depends on your level of understanding. Your level of understanding. Okay, I saw a question. Somebody say, how can one do memory cleansing? It depends on the memory you have picked up. Depends on the memory you have picked up. Is it sex? Is it pronunciation or confession? Is it through wearing other people's stuff? Or is it the cleansing of maybe when you go to barbing saloon and you have been touched or something? Divination would determine what kind of memory cleansing you need. Are you in Nigeria? Yes, I'm in Nigeria. What state? I'm currently in Lagos State in Nigeria, but I don't stay in one place at a time. I move around. I'm a nomad. What if your partner doesn't want to do memory cleansing because he doesn't believe in African spirituality? You'll be carrying, you'll be dropping, you'll be carrying, you'll be dropping. That's why you should marry those who believe in what you believe in. Would you know if one's data has been tapped through IFA consultation? Surely, yes. Some people only come for, okay, I want to check my element, and while we're doing divination, we realize, okay, something else is wrong. Something else is wrong. It's possible, yes. It's possible. Okay, this is a very beautiful question. Say, are marine spirit good or bad? What is a marine spirit? Do we have a marine kingdom? Or we simply do not understand water? Because if you are still there, that means all I've been saying all this while about the intelligence and the being alive of water, you have not been getting the concept. Remember, I said nothing is a non-living thing. All things are living. It depends on how you tamper or manipulate them. Are they good or bad? It depends on how you tamper with it. But if marine spirits are existing or not, it will be another topic. We'll talk about that some other day. How can you prevent your barbers from using your hair? By taking care of your hair by yourself now. If you have a partner, let your partner do it. If you have a wife, let them do it. Husband, let them do it. Be useful for one another. That's the only way I can be sure. Or when you barb your hair or whatever you do, you tell them to pack it for you and you take yours home. But a strand of it is enough. Okay, somebody said those are fast that you send an Arabic letter to do Ifa divination. Does the Quran not interfere with the Ifa they are obviously doing? Quran is just a storybook, just like the Bible, that was written in Arabic. And today, if I'm speaking to somebody from Arab land and I want to explain Ifa to them, I would rather go and learn Arabic so that I can speak to them in Arabic. The fact that you use a language to translate what you're saying, remember that our forefathers or our ancestors were using Yoruba to do all these things that I'm using English to do. It does not make it an English spirituality. It does not mean English will affect what I'm saying. Okay? So using a language to do African spirituality does not mean the language you affect. They are deceiving themselves now. Maybe they know their Muhammad or Allah is fake and they are just speaking Arabic. But because majority don't want to go through the ordeals of understanding Arabic itself, they feel, okay, anything that is not their own local language is coming from above. So they are deceiving themselves now. Hmm? Is there illness you can't cure with water if your element is water? No, there is none. There is none. Is there a chance that people's energy can communicate with animals' energy without physical talking? Yes. For example, how does your dog understand your emotion? I told you, stop categorizing yourself as super than other elements. You are not that huge. You are not that fantastic. You are not that beautiful. You are not that awesome. Humans, please stop thinking of yourself as something so out of this world. You are not better than the plants. You are not better than the animals. You are not better than all those things. Stop letting those who created heaven for you think you are made in one God's image. You are just different in a physical appearance. Energy is energy. How does your dog understand your emotion? Why do they cry when you are hurt? Why do they defend you when you are in danger without you speaking to them? So please, yes. Is that not why we even use animal sacrifice? Sometimes we use their blood. What does their blood speak? Why is it being used for our own good? Eh? So that's the simplicity of it. We'll be taking 2 more questions and then that will be all. As a devotee of Oshun and a single mother, is it safe for me to have a relationship with someone who is not an Ifa priest to avoid dying of konji? Okay, to avoid dying of sexual starvation. I wouldn't say it's not safe, and I wouldn't say it is safe. You see, there are a set of people who need what we call a backup or enablement. So most times people who identify with water, irrespective if it is Oshun, if it is Olokun or whatever, irrespective of the water you identify with, constant relationship with someone who have Ifa, especially who is also practicing it, Babalawo, when it comes to sexual intercourse, helps you to energize yourself. So most of the time, divination comes and say, any Nifa love well, you can only marry someone who have Ifa, so that you two, the two of you can, combine together to make life worth living. You bring your energy, he brings his energy, and you produce energy personified children. Are you getting my point? But what if you can't find someone like that? Would I still tell you not to? I'm not the Lord and Savior of your pubic area. No, I wouldn't tell you what enters your pubic area or what goes out of your pubic area. But I'm saying for the sake of spirituality, babaláwo máa ń dá káwọn olómi kí wọ́n máa fẹ́, wọ́n lọ máa jíṣẹ́ pọ̀ fúnra wọn ni. Wọ́n jọ máa ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ fúnra wọn ni. Wọ́n jọ máa ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ fúnra wọn ni. So a lot of you want bad guys that smoke igbo, drink alcohol, go to clubbing and all of those things. You think guys who are spiritual are too boring. Ẹnu ẹlẹ́wà yẹn o. Ẹnu ẹlẹ́wà yẹn. So for the sake of an enablement, spiritual enablement, that's the reason why that is advised. That advice is given. And there is a good relationship between those who identify with water and those who practice Ifa. Because a babalawo should die on the lap of water, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. When will you take us on Olokun? Very soon. We'll be going back to the ancestral teaching very soon. How does one find out if they are priest or priestess? By divination. If the universe speaks you have to know through divination. You have to know through divination. For that, you can chat this WhatsApp line. You can chat this WhatsApp line for that. And then you can book your consultation through that. Is divination possible remotely? Yes, it is. 95% of divination I've done so far is remotely. Accurate, succinct, and very effective. Very effective. How do you know who you are compatible with as mate? You make divination. There is such a divination called compatibility test to know. But then when you do your element divination, through it, the reporting will also tell you, you can't marry this, you can't marry this. Because we know your element, we'll be able to know the element you can mingle with. All right, so we bring this particular teaching to a close. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. And remember, if you want to make your divination, you can send a message to this number, and please wait till we get back to you. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, Baba Yooba. Press the subscribe button and also the notification all so that you know when we are live. You can also follow us on Facebook at Baba Yooba, or on Instagram, Baba Yooba on Instagram also. You can join our Telegram shrine, where we talk extensively on some personal issue. There are some things I can't say on YouTube because of censoring that goes down there, and everybody there knows we are family. So you can just go to African Spirituality Hub. African Spirituality Hub is trolling on your screen right now. African Spirituality Hub, and then be part of that particular Telegram shrine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Agbe tí ń gbére pàdé olókun kọ́mọ́ gbére pàdé olókun mọ́, àlùkò tí ń gbére pàdé ọlọ́ṣà kó fọlọ́ṣà lẹ̀ kọ́mọ́ gbére pàdé èmi tiyín takọtabo wa, tọmọdé tàgbà, ọkùnrin àtobìnrin wa. Lèkélèké tí ń gbére pàdé wọn nílé ẹlẹ́fun kó fẹlẹ́fun lẹ̀ kó máa gbẹ́fun pàdé wa o. Odídẹrẹ́ tí ń gbére pàdé wọn níwò kó fi wọ́n lẹ̀ níwò kó mọ́ gbére pàdé èmi àti yín látòní lọ. Á dára fún yín, á júṣe fún yín. Gbégbé ìgbésóko ìwà jẹ ẹ ò ní gbé sájò. Àyúnlọ àyún ọ̀bá ìlọ́wọ́ yẹnu. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lọ ẹ dé, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dé ẹ tó lọ ni. Á dára fún yín. Ire lójú owó rí, ire lójú yín ọmọ rí. Ire lobìnrin jẹbọ lábọjà, ire lẹ́ẹ̀mọ jẹbọ lábẹ́ ọ̀gá. Ajá fún Ọ̀rúnmìlà nígbà tí bàbá ń ṣàwó lọ sí Ilẹ̀ Ifẹ̀. Wọ́n ní wọ Ọ̀rúnmìlà bọ́ ọ bá lọ ọ lè má dé mọ́ o. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní tó bá ṣe nípa tòun ni, bí ò ṣe nípa tòun ni, ẹni lọ ló bọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń lọ ẹ mọ̀ bọ̀ ni. We decree safety upon your life today, and we ask that your week be accident-free week. Both domestic accident, public accident, outdoor accident, whatever it may be. May your life be accident-free. May you not accidentally meet someone who will ruin your life. May you not accidentally take up an employment that will mess you up. May you not accidentally relocate to a particular place that will bring about backwardness in your life. May you not accidentally speak a word that will put you in trouble. May you not accidentally go to places that will lead you to prison. May you not accidentally take up things, responsibility that you regret at the end of the day. May accident not be a characteristic of your own life. Ashe, Koribe, Odibakono, and don't forget to share with your friends and family. We've taken our time to reel out the data to teach ourselves today. It is not left to you, the children of my ancestors, to spread the gospel. And if there's anything like good news, this is the real good news. Thank you very much, and have an awesome time. Bye for now.